You might be thinking, okay, Erica, well, this worked for you, but is it this even possible for me? And the answer is yes. And I have receipts. So here's how I've helped some of my clients position themselves without waiting for more followers. Welcome to the Chingona Revolution podcast, where we will bring out your inner badass Latina, overcome self-doubt, help you gain clarity, and pave your own path, all while leading with courage. I am your host, Latina coach and speaker, Erica Cruz. What if I told you the number one reason you're not landing paid opportunities has nothing to do with your follower count? Hello, welcome back to Chingona Revolution podcast. My name is Erica Cruz. I am your host, and today's podcast episode is the recording of my recent training, the Magnetic CEO Method, where I teach you how to attract 7+ paid opportunities through your personal brand without being salesy, which is literally what my clients desire. They desire opportunities that create an impact and income, but the last thing they desire is to feel salesy. So what I'm going to cover in today's training is why your content isn't attracting opportunities right now and what you can do to shift that, as well as the 3 strategies that I have personally used and my clients are using right now to land speaking engagements, brand deals, high ticket clients, and media features, all without pitching or feeling super salesy or any of that. At the end of the training, I do tell you more about my program, Magnetic Mastermind. So you can stick around to the end if you want to learn how to work with me there. I pretty much will tell you these 3 strategies that are going to make a huge difference. And then I'll tell you how we can work together to implement those 3 strategies. All right, let's get into the training. Hello, everyone. Welcome to the Magnetic CEO Method training. This is all about how to attract 7+ paid opportunities through your personal brand without being salesy. Because trust me, I know what it's like whenever you want to make sales, but you don't want to come off as salesy. You're really here because you care about making an impact, not just making income. So the number one reason you are not landing paid opportunities actually has nothing to do with your follower count. And I know you're all sitting here thinking, easy for you to say, Erica, you have all these followers, but I'm going to take you through what it was that really helped me go from having followers and not having any opportunities to actually having less followers and then more opportunities. But more about that when I tell you my story. You are here because you are a creator or an entrepreneur who wants to make money and impact. You're posting maybe consistently, maybe inconsistently, but point is you're showing up, you're taking the action. And yet you're watching other people land the podcast features, the speaking engagements, the brand deals that you desire. When an opportunity does come in, you overthink, you hesitate, and maybe you don't respond right away. Maybe you even ghost opportunities. And I've done this as well. This is not a shaming session, but it is about really calling out who you are and the place you find yourself in right now. Or maybe you're out here cold DMing strangers and pitching yourself, but you feel salesy and it's not really leading to results. So not only does it not feel good, you're not getting the results you want from it. And honestly, you're exhausted. You're a little bit embarrassed. You're like, why is this not working yet? And if you stay until the end of this training, I am going to be doing 5 Instagram audits. And I want one of them to be you. I would love to audit your Instagram. So what I'm going to be doing in these audits is I'm going to show you in real time where your personal brand might be missing the opportunities for clients, for brand deals, maybe for speaking engagements, and what it is that you could do to make that change immediately. So stay until the end, and whenever I tell you, drop your handle in the chat, and then we'll get you some answers and some clarity before we end. I'll remind you of this halfway through as well, just because some new people are joining the training. So by the end of this training, you are going to have complete clarity on why your content isn't attracting opportunities. And you're going to know exactly what to shift. I'm going to cover the 3 strategies that my clients are using right now to land speaking engagements, brand deals, high ticket clients, and even media features without pitching themselves, without sliding into strangers' DMs, without it feeling super exhausting. So by the end, you're going to have a clear picture of what is possible for you when you stop being this best kept secret. So this is the method that has helped myself. It has helped my clients manifest over 7 dream opportunities in 6 months or less. And this training is completely free and it is sponsored by my program, Magnetic Mastermind. I'll tell you more about that at the end, but for now, let's get into this training. My name is Erica. I'm a Latina coach and speaker. If we haven't met, or maybe you just learned about me because of this training, I am the daughter of Mexican immigrants. I left a 6-figure tech job during the pandemic to build a 7-figure business. I've made some money from brand deals, from speaking, and I've supported over 350 coaching clients, but this was not always the case. And I'm going to tell you more about my story and more about how I got to where I am later. For now, let's come back to you. What you want is you want opportunities. So what in the world do I mean when I say opportunities? You want clients, speaking engagements, podcast interviews, Instagram lives, brand deals, maybe even TV appearances, as well as consult calls. So you want to open your inbox and you want to see an invitation to be on a podcast. You want to see an invitation to be a guest speaker or to collaborate with your favorite brand or creator. You want to open your inbox and see a sales call was booked or a client who just paid in full. You want to open your inbox and you want it to look like this. You want to see, okay, great, a speaking opportunity. Oh, wait, a Western Union paid campaign opportunity. You want to see an interview with Telemundo Network. You want to see, okay, wait, an opportunity with Spotify, an opportunity for something being gifted. You want all of that. You also want to see, oh, wait, look, somebody joined my program and they made one payment. Somebody purchased this, purchased that. Oh, and I won an award. This is what you want your inbox to look like. You want your DMs to look like this. You want to see messages and inquiries from aligned clients, from loyal followers, or from somebody you admire. So you want to see that somebody that you've been following is following you back all of a sudden. You want to receive messages like this that say, hey, I understand you're a coach. I want to work with you. You want to get messages like this from people. But here's why this is not happening. It's not happening because you believe you need more followers before you can land opportunities. And it makes sense, right? It does make sense. It makes logical sense. Oh, wait, more followers equals more opportunities. But opportunities actually don't come from follower count. Again, as I mentioned, it makes sense on the surface. More followers, more visibility, more opportunities, right? That would make sense. I have clients who've landed 9+ paid opportunities with under 500 followers. And then I have clients who've booked over 12 speaking engagements, including 5 international ones, without a massive audience. I mean, under 2,000 followers. And I have friends that have over 1 million followers that have never made $1. Follower count does not equal income and it does not equal opportunities. Follower count just means that you have followers, but not every follower is going to turn into a client. Not every follower is going to turn into an opportunity. And that is the hard truth that the content creation world has taught us. Opportunities do not come from your follower count. What they come from is how you position your personal brand today with the amount of followers that you currently have right now. Let's go back to my story. I told you I have done all these cool things, but that was not always the case. In May of 2020, I was you. I was everything I just described. I was showing up, I was posting, I was doing the things, and yet I kept watching other people that I knew were not working as hard as me, land the opportunities that I wanted. They were getting brand deals, speaking engagements, media features, dream clients, and I remember thinking, what in the world do they have that I don't have? I had 40,000 followers at the time. That's a good amount of followers, right? That's more followers than I even have on Instagram today. This was on TikTok at the time. And I remember I tried pitching myself to brands, crickets. I tried cold DMs. It was exhausting. It was awkward, but I thought it was what you had to do to get ahead. So I was like, all right, let me try to do it. And then I tried just being consistent and hoping that somebody would notice. And unfortunately, they didn't. Nobody did. So I came to the conclusion I just need more followers. So I stayed in this limbo for months and months and months. And this is after having two failed attempts, by the way, of starting a personal brand. One of the failed attempts was a faceless account. It was the Nutty Oven, was just food photos. I don't even have to tell you that that was a total failure. And the other one, I was just not consistent. I would show up once. It was for makeup. This was like even before this baking one. I would show up once, post, and I expected it to go viral. And when it didn't go viral, I was like, okay, see, that means I'm not good enough. And it was just a lack of consistency. But this third time, I was like, no, I have to make this work because it was during the pandemic. I was like, we're all going to die anyway. And if I don't give this a shot, I'm going to regret it. And I'm working this tech job that was extremely unfulfilling. But of course, it's those golden handcuffs where you don't want to leave. So I was like, okay, I really have to make this work. And it wasn't until I learned how to position myself. I learned how to change the way that I was showing up. And the moment I started building a magnetic personal brand, that is when everything changed for me. Brands and clients started reaching out to me. And this turned into the front page of the New York Times. This turned into being asked to come on podcasts that I had been listening to and admiring for a while. I ended up working with TurboTax on some videos. I ended up interviewing the guy who sings Despacito, who is Luis Fonsi over here. He's actually that handsome, by the way. I was like, oh, this is like really awkward. I thought it was going to be a panel. Nope, it was just him and I on TikTok Live. And I ended up on a Women's History Month special for Telemundo speaking Spanish. I speak way better English, by the way, than I do Spanish. That stretched me. And then I worked with Nationwide. I worked with LinkedIn, Harvard, Chevrolet, Nopalera. I won an award for 40 under 40. I worked with Accenture. I worked with MailChimp, with QuickBooks, Intuit. And you might be thinking, okay, Erica, well, this worked for you, but is it this even possible for me? And the answer is yes. And I have receipts. So here's how I've helped some of my clients position themselves without waiting for more followers. So Maddie landed 2 paid brand deals and was featured on the news twice. Daniela landed 3 speaking engagements and she has a magazine for kids. So her main offer, the thing she was selling, was magazine subscriptions. She tripled her magazine subscriptions and she had way under 500 followers as well. Ale landed her first 2 one-on-one coaching clients and had a $25,000 launch and ended up speaking at a bunch. She's like a marketing girl. So she ended up speaking at a bunch of different conferences all about marketing and why we need more women in marketing, why we need more women of color in marketing. So she ended up doing that. Diana landed 9 sales inquiries, 2 podcast features, and a news article about her work with less than 500 followers. And Rebecca won an award, started 2 additional businesses, had a $70,000 week, and she wrote a book. And Rebecca and I have worked together for a few rounds already. So this was not one like round of us working together. We've worked together for 3 rounds already. And honestly, there's probably more wins, but so it wasn't like the 2 businesses happened overnight, right? But still, in less than a year and a half, all of this has happened for her. I want to remind you, because some people joined a little bit later, if you stay until the end of the training, I'm going to be doing 5 live Instagram audits and I want one of them to be you. So I'll show you in real time where your personal brand might be missing out on opportunities and on clients and what you can do to change that. So let me share the 3 strategies that my clients inside of Magnetic Mastermind are using right now to attract 7+ paid opportunities without feeling salesy, without being salesy, and without cold pitching, without waiting until they have more followers, what they are doing right now. This is what I refer to as the magnetic method. And as you know, the webinar, this training is titled the Magnetic CEO Method. So now we're getting into the strategy piece. The first strategy is what I call magnetic visibility. Magnetic visibility is content that is fun and easy to consume. It may not always be easy to create. It gets easier as time goes on, but it's fun and it's easy for people to consume it. And it makes people feel really seen. It clearly shares who you help, what you believe in, and then the results that you can create and help people get. It really makes you the obvious choice. This is all about visibility and all about being more magnetic with your visibility. And I thought it would be really helpful if I shared with you all some of the common mistakes that I see around magnetic visibility. So maybe you're sharing your life, your journey, your thoughts, but it's not positioned from this place of, I'm the expert you've been looking for. Maybe it's just a photo dump, or maybe it's just like, spend the day with me, and it's just like really long and kind of boring. Maybe you're sharing more content about you than the viewer. And what I mean is more selfish content than selfless content. So more about like 5 things you didn't know about me rather than 5 things I wish somebody would have told me my first year of medical school that I'm telling you to save you the stress that I went through. See the difference? One's a little bit more selfish, one's a little bit more selfless. Maybe you're not making it clear who you help or what you do and why you're the one to do it. And this happens a lot when we don't have clarity ourselves, or we feel like we're just kind of all over the place. And I think we all go through that stage at some point, but that is another thing where we're going all different directions. Or maybe you're still posting informational graphics. What I mean by that is using Canva to just do a quote card, or not really sharing your face, not really adding any videos, not really showing your humanness. That worked 10 years ago, but it doesn't work now. And maybe you're not engaging people in the first 1 to 3 seconds. So maybe you are creating content, but it's really slow and you're not being intentional about how you start your carousel, how you start your video. The first 3 seconds matter more than anything. It's when people decide if they're going to scroll away or not. Or another thing, another common mistake I see is the opposite end of this, which is people are selling in every single post. And that's not magnetic, right? It's like I was at the grocery store today, this morning, and I was walking out of Trader Joe's, and I already saw the people who were trying to sell me to go like sign a petition, and I was like, I have a training to get to. I have to update this thing. And they were not being very magnetic. It was quite the opposite. As soon as I saw, I knew they were trying to sell me something. I booked it to the other side, and I made sure I parked in that direction to avoid it. And that's sometimes what can happen with our content. We think, oh yeah, if I need to sell, and yeah, we do need to sell, but we need to do it in a magnetic way that again feels really fun and easy for people to engage with our content. So before implementing this strategy, what's happening is you are posting and praying. You're like, I hope this works here. You're maybe getting likes from your friends and family, and you're wondering if any of this is actually really working, or if it's worth it, or if you're just wasting your time. Maybe you're overwhelmed with what to post and how to post it. Maybe you have an idea, but you're like, how do I do this? Do I do this as a story or as a video? Or like, do I talk to the camera? Do I do a voiceover? And you're just overwhelmed with that aspect of it. After you implement magnetic visibility, you show up as the expert that people can understand, relate to, and trust. The right people find you, they binge your content, they reach out, they hire you, they refer you. What happens when all of this happens, when that happens, is your confidence grows. You're no longer looking to likes and followers to seek validation from people. You get to really just validate yourself because of the way that you're showing up. And I want to give you an example from one of my clients, Evie. Evie is a salary negotiation coach and speaker. So Evie was quietly helping her audiences negotiate, hold on to your chairs, $1 million in salaries. So what this means is she is a salary negotiation coach. She helps women in corporate negotiate their salaries. She had supported her clients, and she hasn't had hundreds of clients. She has helped her clients negotiate over $1 million in salary, but she was super quiet about it. So she was inconsistent with her content and she wasn't sharing this win. But the moment that she started creating magnetic visibility content, she started sharing her personal story. She started celebrating her clients' wins. She started teaching her method. Everything changed. She went on to have a $15,000 enrollment. She ended up landing high ticket paying clients, private clients. She was invited to speak at a university, not once, not twice, but 3 times. And she was recently invited to host a financial author book tour. I don't think I'm allowed to say what it is yet because it hasn't come out yet, but it's happening on Equal Pay Day. I was going to say Financial Literacy Month. I don't even know if there is a Financial Literacy Month on Equal Pay Day. And so Jocelyn here, who's one of my former clients and also worked with Evie, she says Evie helped me negotiate a $40,000 salary increase. Incredible, Jocelyn. Yeah, so Evie's amazing, but she was being quiet about these incredible results that she was getting people. And after she implemented this strategy, we're going to take a look at where her content was before and where it was after. So this is not a bad post, right? The most successful salary negotiators I know don't wait to feel confident. They challenge their money mindset. They use rejection as data. They quantify their value. And it's a valuable post. It is. But now take a look at what happens whenever you implement magnetic visibility.
Just trust me, you'll be fine. And when I'm back in Chicago, I feel it. Another version of me. I was in it. Oh, we took back to the end.
So let me ask a question. This is obviously not even about salary negotiation, but it's about her negotiating her worth, right? Knowing that she's meant for more. So maybe it might not be directly related to salary negotiation, but how many of you feel more connected to Evie after watching that post than seeing this one here, which was the most successful salary negotiators? Yeah, right? It's like I haven't been divorced, but I feel so seen with this because I've walked away from an engagement. We've all had a breakup. We've all had, even if you've never been divorced, you resonate with this. So that was example one. And then let me share a couple more examples of the things that she's done. So she could have easily been like, hey, I've helped my clients negotiate $1 million in salary increases. But nope, she went on.
I don't know if they know, but I do whatever I want.
So she could have easily just been like, hey, my clients hit $1 million in salary increases. But nope, she got a cake. She did $1 million thing. It's just one quick shot, fun audio on top of it. And that post did incredibly well. And then we've got this one here, which is a little bit more informational, right? I'm a 35-year-old engineer who at one point was underpaid by $40,000 and working 12 hours a day just to prove my worth. Here's what changed. It's a very valuable piece of content, positions her as this expert. And that's 3 different examples of content that is more on the magnetic side. Make sense? I wanted to show examples for you all. All right, let's go on to our next strategy. This is strategy number 2, and this is proof of authority. Proof of authority is all about making your expertise so visible that people just don't believe that you're great. They see it. They get to see the version of you in her element. And you've probably been building credibility already behind the scenes. You're all amazing. I have no doubt about that. The issue is that we don't really share it and show it. So common mistakes I see people make is you have the receipts, right? You have the results, you have the experience, you have the wins, but you're not sharing them publicly. Or you're waiting for people just to assume that you're the expert because the last thing you want is to come off as braggy. Maybe you've done things like speaking engagements, even if they were free of charge and not paid. Or maybe you've worked with clients, even if it was not paid. Or you've landed partnerships, but nobody knows about it. Just like Evie's $1 million in salary negotiation that was hidden for months. And you're not documenting the behind the scenes of your work. Maybe you're not sharing the progress with us, the bookings, the moments. And all of this is leading you to undercharge because your authority isn't visible enough yet to be able to command higher rates and to negotiate and things like that. So here's what does work when it comes to proof of authority. So for speaking, what you want to do is you want to share a speaker reel, which is a collection of clips of you talking about the topics you typically speak on, clips of you on stages, even if it's virtual, the behind the scenes of getting booked, of like, hey, I'm going to be speaking at this place. I'm so excited about it. For brand deals, it's about sharing your partnerships, your audience data, and the impact that your content creates. And if you want more clients, You must share case studies, testimonials, and document wins that make people think, if she did that for them, imagine what she can do for me. And I have a client example here to share with you all, but I did this at the beginning of this training. And what I did was I shared screenshots with you all of my inbox. I shared screenshots from my DMs. I was doing this exact strategy. You're literally watching me do this during this training, right? Whenever I shared my story and I shared, okay, once I started implementing the magnetic method in my personal brand, here's what happened. And then I showed you all the different slides of the New York Times, of the Telemundo feature, of the Luis Fonsi interview, of all of that, right? So before leveraging this strategy, you're the best kept secret. You're amazing, but nobody knows about you. You have the receipts, but nobody can see them. And then opportunities only come to you whenever you chase them, or maybe somebody introduces you. And after, your expertise is everywhere. People don't question your credibility because they see it, right? They just want to know how in the world they work with you. And the example that I have from this strategy is my client Daisy. So Daisy is a poet and an author. She's published a few different poetry books. And she had done speaking engagements before, but every single one came to her because she was pitching herself. She was undercharging, she was barely sharing her speaking, and when opportunities only really came to her whenever she was chasing them. But once she started showing visible proof of her speaking, clips of behind the scenes, moments with her audience, she was sharing photos of her doing workshops. She was saying, hey, Sacramento State, I just got booked to come speak. I can't wait to see you. And really creating behind the scenes content like that. That's whenever event organizers really started to see her presence and her delivery without her ever saying a word. And that's when she started being seen. This is directly a quote from Daisy. She said, I came to the mastermind with the goal of landing one out of state speaking engagement. She thought it would be fun. She'd only done California speaking engagements. But she says, I landed 5 out of the country speaking engagements in my motherland of Mexico. I've secured over 12 speaking opportunities. And this is even more amazing because Daisy is a DACA recipient and she had not been back to the motherland in many, many years. So these speaking opportunities granted her this visa to be able to go back. It was like, oh my gosh, I get chills like talking about it. And she's totally thriving. This book here that we see, this is actually a new book. She had just released a different book on whenever we worked together last year, but so happy for her. And that's exactly what proof of authority can do. Third and final strategy, a magnetic media kit. So this is your professional brand asset. This is what tells the world who you are, who your audience is, and why working with you is a no-brainer. Some of the common mistakes I see when people aren't leveraging this strategy is that they're waiting until they have more followers, more clients, or more experience before putting themselves out there professionally. Or when a brand reaches out, instead of moving the conversation forward, it kind of falls through the cracks because they don't really know how to handle it. They don't know how to negotiate. They don't know what the next steps are. So if a brand reaches out, maybe you'll just give them a super low rate and try to lock it in. And what you're doing is you're missing out on opportunities to negotiate. Or when a speaking opportunity comes in, you don't move the conversation forward because you don't have maybe suggestions for speaking. And that's what your assets can do. That's what your brand assets can do. For clients, maybe you don't have any client case studies. Maybe you don't have a place people can go, whether it's a sales page with testimonials or an Instagram stories highlight with client results or things like that, which could turn somebody who's considering working with you into an actual client. So those are the common mistakes that I see. What works is for brand deals, you need a media kit that shows your audience demographics, like, okay, 70% women, 30% men, most of them are in the US. You also want to explain what your values are because brands want to align with people who have the same values as them. And maybe any past partnerships or credibility that you could put on there. For speaking, this could be a one-page sheet that shows event organizers the topics you typically speak on, the experience you have, and the audiences that you've spoken to. Daisy and I worked on this together for her speaking. And we didn't put her rates on there because you should never do that, by the way. Side note. And then for clients, this would be, again, like I mentioned, a case study page or maybe even an Instagram highlights that shares client results and client testimonials and things like that. So I am the example for this one because I figured why not? Just I can tell you very well about my experience. So before, I was really hoping that brands would think I was good enough. And I was just watching other creators land partnerships while telling myself that I needed more followers before I could do anything. And I implemented the first two strategies that I shared with you all, which was the magnetic visibility as well as proof of authority. But I also built my media kit and then I stopped waiting to feel ready. Whenever brands and speaking opportunities started reaching out, I would send them my media kit. That has landed me $275,000 in brand deals, over $128,000 from speaking. And again, not from a massive following, but from a magnetic brand asset that made saying yes a no-brainer. And I'm going to show you from an email I got today that you really do need these assets because people do ask for them. Hopefully y'all can see this. I took this screenshot literally right before starting this training. So you can see this was from 5 hours ago. And Ella says, would you mind resending the link to your media kit, please? Brands are looking for your media kit. I linked it. For some reason, she couldn't see it. So anyway, I'm just going to download it and add it as a PDF. And then this is so not part of the training, but let me just quickly show you what the media kit looks like. So here's my media kit. You can see my name, what I do, my website. Here's some of my metrics. 80% women, about who I am, where my top cities are for clients, other people I've worked with. Some of these, by the way, like weren't even paid opportunities, and I still include them on here. And then here's everything I'm available for, how they can reach out to me. So that's what a media kit looks like. And let me come back over to my training because I want to make sure we have, for those of you who are not here the whole time and just have an hour, I want to make sure we get to audits and things like that. So what you want, let's just do a quick recap. You want opportunities, which are clients, speaking engagements, brand deals, features. What is stopping you is you think you need more followers. The actual solution is you just simply need to learn how to position your brand today with the amount of followers you have right now. And then guess what? Followers is a byproduct of building a magnetic brand. Your follower count's going to grow when you do that anyway. So it's almost like the chicken before the egg. If you're waiting for the more followers, you're not going to get anywhere. And the way you're going to do this is by using the magnetic method, which is these three strategies: magnetic visibility, proof of authority, and media kit, aka brand assets. So can you see when you have magnetic visibility, your content positions you as the obvious choice and it magnetizes people to you. When you have proof of authority, people don't just believe in you, they can see your expertise everywhere. And you control your proof of authority. You control what you create, what you show up, how you show up. And when you have your magnetic media kit, that's when brands, stages, and collaborations not only come to you, but you have the ability to push them further and negotiate them and position yourself in a more advanced way. So when you stop trying to convince people and you start showing them your value, you become the obvious choice. And that is exactly what a magnetic personal brand does for you. So how many of you would love to know exactly how to implement all three strategies with my direct support every single week for the next 6 months? So if that is you, drop a yes in the chat. All right, I already see Sharina. Only Sharina? All right, thank you all. I appreciate the engagement. Okay, so let me tell you about Magnetic Mastermind. All of the case studies that you've seen in this are from Magnetic Mastermind. This is I don't want to say it's my favorite child because I love my other program as well. There's something about this one that's very unique and special though. And it's because it's a 6-month intimate group program for women entrepreneurs and creators who are really ready to stop being the best kept secret and start attracting 7+ dream opportunities through their personal brand. So this program is for you if, again, you're already creating content, maybe you've made some money and this training really resonated with you and you want to implement these strategies with me by your side, if you want to open your inbox and see the invites like we saw at the beginning of the training, if you want to wake up to a payment notification from a client who paid in full and you're like, oh my God, I did that. I could do this. Or if you really want to have fun creating content and have clarity on what to do to get the results you want, whether that's a speaking engagement, a brand deal, a client. And let me take you through the full magnetic method framework because there's a complete 5 steps. So, of the 5 steps, this is the first one. And step 1 is all about really getting clear on what you are known for. We do this by clarifying your brand and your vision. We get clear on who you serve, the opportunities you want to attract, so that your brand has direction and intention. If you come to me and you say, Erica, I really want speaking opportunities, that's going to be a different way of showing up than if all you want is clients. So it's really about creating the intention of what it is that you want to create. Step 2 is all about building offers that reflect your value and your follower count. So remember at the beginning, I said, you don't need more followers. You can start right now. It's true. But what I will say is the follower count does matter based on what offer you sell. Let's say you have 500,000 followers. You probably aren't going to need to sell this high ticket one-on-one. No, you could probably sell a $100 offer and you would be fine. But if you have a smaller audience, that's not where we want to start. Because if you sell something for $100, you're not going to make much. So it's all about building offers that reflect your value. Step 3 is about creating magnetic content that attracts. So this is where you really learn how to show up in a way that positions you as a thought leader. This is the magnetic visibility. Step 4 is your proof of authority. This is really where you are making your expertise visible through your client results, through your assets. Under this section, we also help you with media kits, speaker reels, as well as client case studies. And then the 5th step is becoming the woman who receives it all. The brain loves familiarity. Whenever we get big, bold opportunities, those aren't usually familiar. And it's so easy to ghost opportunities because we don't feel ready for them. So this is why we use neuroscience to support you in building familiarity with bigger, bolder opportunities so that you feel confident being seen, owning your value, and saying yes to bigger opportunities. Inside Magnetic Mastermind, here's everything you get. You get a 2-day virtual event, which is what we start off with. And this is really where you get clarity on your brand, your message, and your income plan. You get weekly live coaching calls, which is real-time strategy support and coaching so you never get stuck and you're not second guessing or kind of trying to figuring it out on your own. There's constant ongoing support. We also have marketing reviews, which is everything from content reviews, sales page reviews, email reviews, as well as a media kit template. So I have a template like the media kit I just shared with all of you, which will support you with creating a polished professional media kit that positions you for brand deals, speaking opportunities, or collaborations. We also do something called the Abundance Activation, which is a month-long challenge we do that focuses on abundance. This is when people see the most amount of results. So I used to call this like a spiritual business mastermind, but this is why, because we just work with energy, with calling in abundant energy. And you also get a private Slack community. So you get support from me as well as an aligned community of amazing women in between calls. And then there's also a bonus, especially for those of you here because you are on the training. So this 48-hour bonus is what I call the personal brand profit plan. It's a 90-minute private one-on-one intensive with me where we're going to map out your exact personal brand strategy and identify your fastest path to your first or your next dream opportunity. It's also really about like, how can we support you in creating the most amount of purpose and profit? And then this one is only here for 48 hours. After 48 hours, it's gone. I've sold this on its own for over $1,000. It's valued at $1,999, but it's completely included. And now you're maybe wondering, okay, Erica, but like, how much is this thing? So the investment for us, this 6-month program, if you pay in full, it's $5,555 or 5 payments of all one. So $1,111. I feel like I sound like an infomercial, but wait, I've never done this before, but I figured What if we did like a save if you pay in full? So if you do want to pay in full, you save $400. So it ends up being $51.55. And there's a few more things for me to share, but I do invite you all to apply. So my team, Christelle, is going to add the link to schedule your call and apply for the program right now. So let me just tell you what happens. You're going to schedule your call, and that doesn't mean, oh my gosh, you're locked in and you can't go anywhere. Pretty much what happens next is you're going to click the link. You're going to fill out this short application. You're going to book your consult call. And if we're a great fit, great. You'll be invited to join. I'll answer any questions you have. If you're not a good fit, or if this is not aligned, there's no pushiness at all. That's not my vibe. So it's really simple. There's no surprises. And we are open today, but the doors do close on May 13th. And once they close, they're not opening again for at least another 7 months. And there's many reasons why I want to invite you to schedule your call today. And I'm going to get to those in just 1 second. This is Rebecca. She's been in Magnetic Mastermind the last 3 times I've had this. She joined again, so she's already in it. This is her quote. She says, I've secured $200,000 in new business, had a $70,000 week, manifested a new business idea, which is now live, by the way, closed the $1 million mark in lifetime sales in her business, and she won an award. And then we've got Diana, who's a bookkeeper and accountant for first-gen entrepreneurs. She booked her first 6K client from having not made any money ever, and then had 9 sales inquiries, 2 podcast invites, and a news article written about her work. This is Ale. She's the digital marketing educator that I was mentioning. She had a 25K launch. I think I've already shared that. And then a 7K Black Friday launch. This is Daniela. She's the founder of Explora magazine. She landed 3 speaking engagements, tripled her magazine subscriptions, and secured a deal, a big partnership with the school, because she works with kids. That's what her magazine's a bilingual magazine for kids. She ended up closing a deal with the school. It was like over $9,000. And she was initially just selling her magazine for like, I don't know, $30 of magazine or something like that. I was like, no, we have to do something else. So the biggest struggle for my past clients has been creating content easily. I think that content's changing. It's really evolving. So I've never done this before, but if you join us inside of Magnetic Mastermind, I have added a bonus that I've never done before. I don't know if I'll do it next time. You're actually going to get free access to my content program, Courage Driven Latina, for 7 months. This is a $2,222 program, and you get it free. If you're here and you're in that program and you want to join Magnetic Mastermind, talk to me. We will talk about giving you credit back. So maybe we can either like refund you and put you in the other program, since you're going to get credit since you're already in CDL. So that's on the table as well. But for those of you who are not in any of my programs, you pretty much get both of my programs for one. And so I invite you all to book a call, theericacruz.com/magnetic mastermind. The link is in the chat there. Again, the investment is this one down here. You do save $400 if you do a one-time payment, but for now, don't even worry about that. Just get a call on the calendar, because I don't want you to miss out on the 48-hour bonus. And what you can do is you can schedule a call, even if you don't. Let's say that we have the call later this week. That's totally fine. You have to book your call, though, before the 48 hours, and then obviously join after our call. And that's how you get the 48-hour bonus. So as a reminder, everything you get is the 2-day virtual event, weekly live coaching calls, marketing reviews, templates, the abundance activation, the private Slack community. And then there's one more thing that I didn't have space to add on here. And I was like, do I add it? Do I not add it? But you're also getting something called the Magnetic Sales Scripts, which is all about if somebody DMs you and asks about your services, what do you say so you don't sound salesy? Or if somebody books a consult with you, how do you do it in a way where you don't sound salesy? How do you negotiate with the brand? So these are what I call the sales scripts. So if this is something you are interested in, don't wait. book your call right now. Like while we're on this training, I have a few more slides. I'm going to get into the audits as well as the coaching as well. So let me just continue on with my slides. This is Maddie. Maddie is a nonprofit founder as well as an Alzheimer's advocate. So her dad was diagnosed with Alzheimer's a couple years ago. She became his primary caregiver, kind of lost herself in being a caregiver, and now her and her dad create amazing content all around Alzheimer's awareness. And she ended up landing 2 paid brand deals and was featured on the news twice. So she knew, you know what, coaching's not my thing. I don't really want offers. I kind of want to do the brand deal route. Perfect. She was having a really hard time with even charging for these. And she not only landed 2 paid opportunities, but she negotiated the heck out of those and ended up making some good money because she was investing her time in making it. And then we've got Yaz. I think Yaz was here. I don't know if she's still here. Let me look.
I am. Hi.
Hi, Yaz. I was like, I know she's in here somewhere. Yaz is a wellness coach and yoga instructor. She sold out her wellness intensive and has been invited to events to teach yoga because she's also, as I mentioned, a yoga instructor. And she's been putting on her own events. She just had a Mother's Day event this last weekend. And everybody was resharing it. They absolutely loved it. I think she's going to have to start this like Spanish and yoga in Spanish series because it was all in Spanish. Absolutely killed it. And then we've got Clara, who is a real estate broker and mompreneur influencer. And she had a bunch of wins, including closing listings, as well as becoming an instructor for the Texas Realtor Board. And then we've got Daisy. You already learned about Daisy. So let's go to the next one. Jen is actually a career and wealth coach, and she got over her fear of being seen, posted on LinkedIn, went viral, and landed not only her first high ticket paying client, her first 3 high ticket paying clients. Now she's absolutely killing it. She's like a LinkedIn influencer in my mind. So you might be having questions. You might be thinking, okay, I don't have a big following yet. Is this still for me? This is literally designed for you because my client Deanna landed 9+ opportunities with under 500 followers. And remember, followers is something that happens as a byproduct. It's not something that you have to wait for first. When you implement the magnetic method, you are going to gain more followers. It's just a byproduct of what's going to happen. You might be thinking, okay, what if this program is too advanced for me? Should I schedule a call? Yes, schedule a call because here's what happens. If this program is too advanced for you, I will support you in figuring out what the best next step is for you. Maybe my content program is where you need to start first. Maybe you don't need to start here. So I'll be completely honest with you, but do schedule a call, especially because I have limited time this week because of course, when it rains, it pours, right? I've got all these things that have come up. So I do want to invite you all to book your call. Don't wait. Go to the link, the Erica Cruz/Magnetic Mastermind that my team has put in the chat. So what that's going to do, it's going to take you to, let's see, here it is. And then what you'll do is you will hit book a consult call. Here's a little video of me. You don't have to watch it. You already heard me tell you everything on this training. You're going to go to book a call. And then you'll fill out this application. It just tells you here's what you can expect. Put in your first name, your last name, your email, where you find yourself. If you're an aspiring entrepreneur, a full-time entrepreneur, or maybe creator, why it is you're interested, what you're struggling with, how you are currently landing opportunities. I know some of you might be filling it out. So if it's helpful to just turn down the volume because I'm distracting you, feel free to do that. If you heard about Magnetic Mastermind from somebody, we want to know why you're interested in working with me. And then once you hit submit, it will take you to the booking page where you can schedule your call with me. Let me come back over here. And I want to remind you that the personal brand profit call is something that you get when you schedule that call within the first 48 hours. So don't delay. And then another question that comes up a lot is, I'm not sure if I have time. How much time does this require? So this is designed for busy women, entrepreneurs and creators, not for people who have 40 free hours a week. The calls are really your anchor. They're hour-long calls. And beyond that, we work with really like what it is that you have. So the strategies are built on working smarter, not harder. And that's exactly what we have, things like the reviews, the templates to support you with all of that. This is important. Why in the world join this round? So here's the question I have for you. Can you afford to wait another 7 months to start showing up as the magnetic CEO that you already are? Because the investment also won't be this low the next time we open doors. This program used to be a $9,000 program. And I was really like, you know what? I want to get as many people in this program as I can. And that is why it's at the rate that it is right now. But I can't promise that that will be the rate next time. And then the bonuses alone this time are worth joining for, right? Like you get full access to my other program. You get the personal brand profit plan call with me. And by the time we open doors again, you could have already doubled or tripled or quadrupled your investment and attracted 7+ paid opportunities. So this round really is the best time to join us. And then there was something else I was going to say about this round. Yes, this round, I had 5 amazing women in the last round. 80% of them, meaning 4 of them, have rejoined. So the fact that so many people have rejoined a program and it's only getting better, I'm confident that this program is going to get you the results that you were looking for. And the other person that hasn't joined yet, I actually haven't talked to her yet. So I may have an 100% rejoin rate of people who have been in the program and joined it again. So Yaz, who's here, is one of those people who's joining again. And I appreciate you, Yaz. I've loved working with you. So again, schedule your call with me. This is everything you get, as well as the magnetic sales scripts. And this is where you're going to go, book consult call, and come to the application. Let me come back over here because does anybody have questions before I jump into profile audits? Any questions from those of you here? Oh, thanks, Yas. I've grown so much through working with Erica. When I met Yas, she was not creating any content. She went from not creating any content to literally going viral many times to landing so many clients. There was a time when I was showing up, I was posting consistently, and I was just watching other people land opportunities and clients. I remember seeing them land speaking engagements, brand deals, collaborations, and all I remember thinking is, I know that I'm also capable of this. So what in the world am I doing wrong? And why is this not happening for me? Because I wasn't just trying to get clients. I also wanted speaking engagements, brand deals, collaborations, in many ways of getting paid. But I didn't want to chase them. I didn't want to slide into people's DMs. I didn't want to constantly pitch myself. So I learned how to do things differently. I learned how to position my personal brand in a way that communicated my value and in a way where opportunities began showing up for me. In other words, I learned how to build a magnetic personal brand. And that is when everything changed. I started landing speaking engagements, brand collaborations, and I started getting a ton of clients simply from my content. And now I've built multiple streams of income from my personal brand without chasing or feeling salesy. And that's exactly what I teach inside my program, Magnetic Mastermind. Magnetic Mastermind is a 6-month mastermind for women creators and entrepreneurs who are ready to turn their personal brand into multiple income streams and paid opportunities. Inside, I'll show you how to create a magnetic brand so you can attract clients, speaking engagements, and collaborations. Doors are officially open right now, so schedule your call with me today. Doors close on May 13th. So if you are ready to stop watching other people land opportunities and start attracting them for yourself, you can use the link in the show notes to schedule that call with me. I'll see you inside. So if you would like a profile audit, go ahead and let me know in the chat. And what I'll do is I'm going to ask for your Instagram. Perfect. Let me let Natasha back in. All right, Raquel. I've got Raquel first, and then I've got Dr. Princess next. And Raquel, if you don't mind sharing with me what kind of opportunities you are looking to call in. Is it clients? Is it speaking? Is it brand deals?
That's a great question. Hi, Erica.
Hi.
Hi. So right now, what I have is an in-person storytelling community. So I would say clients. I think my hesitation was that I'm not providing, it's more like events and not services like
Mhm.
coaching.
No, no, totally. Yeah, that's still clients, right? You still want people to come to your events. Are they free events or are you charging for them?
It is ticketed.
It's ticketed. Okay, great. Yeah, no, that's an offer, right? So like my client Rebecca, she doesn't offer coaching either. She just wrote a poetry book. So what we're doing is we're actually doing a pre-launch for her book. So you're still going to use the same three strategies of the magnetic visibility and all of that. Linda, thank you for coming. Yay, I'm so glad. All right, so let's share screen here. Perfect, perfect. Okay, first, I really like for moms tired of we should hang out. That's great. You're already your who is already in your bio, and you're also hitting on a pain point, right? Which is it's not stated, but it's indirectly stated based on this where moms are not really making time for themselves. They are saying that we should hang out, but yet they're consumed with motherhood, with maybe family stuff, maybe with work, and their own identity and whatnot comes on the back burner. So, love that this is pinned at the top. Who is for? Um, I'm just gonna do a little observing.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah, love that. Have I met you at an event? Or maybe you just attended a virtual event.
No,
No?
we did. You did when I was in my before becoming a mom phase and I was doing career coaching and
I was like, you look so familiar. Okay.
yeah, I was doing career coach. I have pivoted and
Yeah, good.
the season that I'm in right now is this is my baby at the moment, in addition to the two
Yes.
I have. But
Yes.
we're done
Wonderful.
virtually, not no, we haven't met in person.
Okay, okay. So I love this. I think the one thing maybe missing from here, because this is informational, right? It's already telling us like, okay, who it's for. I almost feel like these two could be combined into one. It's a little, the one is who it's for and what it is. I totally get that, but I think you could probably squeeze that into one carousel. I think what's missing here is maybe your own personal journey to be pinned up at the top. What happened when you became a mom? Like, what did you go through? And how can you take us through that personal journey? Almost like, and I would use, let me go on to my page to give you just a quick reference. I would look at this post as reference right here, where, okay, this is not the hook I would use for you, but maybe for yours, it would be something like, I was a career coach until I became a mom and everything changed. Or the moment I became a mom, I went through this crazy identity crisis, something like that, where you're sharing your journey of where you were before and where you were after. And you share, like, okay, I was a career coach, and then this is the experience I started having whenever I became a mom. And then I felt really alone. And that's where I created this group for people to get together. So I would do something like that where you're sharing your story that's pinned to the top and it's maybe like a carousel of all of your kind of different phases and how motherhood has been your most transformational, important phase. And yet moms are so under-resourced. But I would make the hook like really, really spicy. When I say spicy, I mean like attention grabbing of something along the lines. Like maybe you could even use a stat or something like that. And then this looks like it's from your events.
In your community because I do. And that is how I found out about a storytelling class that was taking place over 2 weeks with a showcase of flyers
Okay.
in your community because I do. And that is how I found out about a storytelling class that was taking place over 2 weeks with a showcase. And here I am sharing my story. I want to get better at storytelling. I love storytelling so much. I never have taken a class.
So the what I would improve here would be the first 3 seconds. Because you start off with like, have you ever paid attention to the posts around your community? I would maybe start this with like, let me tell you how storytelling changed my life from I went from this to that. And really creating like a before and after. And then I think it's okay to have this in the background, but maybe even like a green screen of you in the front so we can see your face, just because the clips aren't just of you. And I think that will help with your visibility so that you could get more visibility and more engagement. And then as you have events that are coming up, one of the things I would suggest is getting people to, hold on, how come I can't go back? Okay, there we go. Getting people to share their experience there while they're at the events, and maybe even interviewing people at the end of events, especially when everybody, because when you get people together, people will give you the best testimonials ever. And then I would even do, I don't know if this might be it. This might already be it. I might be telling you to do something you're already doing. Um, yeah, like maybe you ask people questions like, okay, what was your experience like once you came to moms? Or what was it like? How has this been life changing for you? You just ask these different questions and then have a highlight. And then as you're getting ready to, how often do you have these events?
They are monthly.
Monthly?
Mhm.
Okay, perfect. Are you, this is more of a coaching thing. I would sell tickets to the next one at the one you're at, if you're not already doing that.
I know that is a great idea.
Yeah. So I literally discount it a little bit, be like, and again, when people are in person, it's almost like when you're all together and you're like, oh my gosh, let's hang out again. And then it doesn't get on the calendar and it doesn't happen. But if you put that thing on the calendar when you're all together, it's probably going to happen. So, and even with, well, I don't know, when's your next event?
May 27.
Okay. So it'll be past Mother's Day, but maybe you even start to promote it with like get somebody a Mother's Day gift. That's
Mm.
an angle I would also take for your in your content and in your stories. And here's the thing, your I would actually use your feed to create really relatable motherhood content. Like, look, let me give you an example. I posted something today. Obviously, my bad. Obviously, I'm Latina. Um, so I did this post that has nothing to do with my offers, but I knew it was going to just get me more visibility. And it says POV, it's Cinco de Mayo on Taco Tuesday. Suddenly the people who don't like immigrants are fluent in una margarita más, por favor, at their local Mexican restaurant. And it did well. It has 359 likes, right? A bunch of engagement. And but the point is like you can create so much relatable content that's about motherhood and then constantly talk about your events in your stories. So that's what I would suggest for you. That's what I would improve on your page.
Oh, thank you so much. I took notes. This was so helpful.
Okay, good. I'm so glad. All right. So as a reminder, I'm doing 5 people. So I just did Raquel. So let me do a little done sign there. Next, we've got Dr. Princess. All right. All right. Would you mind telling me what are you selling something? Oh, guides and stories. Yeah. Is that what do you sell like do you sell any coaching or is it just guides? What is it that you do?
Yeah, so right now I'm selling guides. I'm trying to prepare to also launch to do travel consultations for people who
Okay.
want to intentionally travel through like Black owned places and Black history when they're traveling, and then also just speaking engagements because I'm an educator as well. So trying to combine travel and education together.
Yeah. Have you heard of the Latino Travel Fest?
Oh, yes, I know Vanessa really, really well.
You
And I
do?
think that's where
Okay.
I saw you in person at the
Oh,
first one
okay.
she
I
had in the
would
Bronx.
Yes, I feel like that would be a great place for you to speak. Um, so good, good. All right. Love that there's start here. Ready? Great job with your design of carousels.
Do you mind sharing screen? Because I'm not
Oh
sure
my
what we're
gosh,
looking
I'm
at
so
right now. No,
sorry.
you're good. I was like, I don't know what she's looking at.
I thought I was. I thought I was. All right, all right. So let me just start from the beginning. Very aesthetically pleasing. Love the colors. And then I love that this is pinned to the top and it says start here. Unlock Black Journeys with Dr. Franny. Love that. What to expect here. Connection, contacts, and care. Love that. Okay, I love that you're sharing your why. And then all of these are different. Oh, this is great. Yeah. And look, a post like this isn't going to go viral, and it's not supposed to, because the intention of this post is to give context to people, and that's exactly what you've done here. Love this. I think people are really looking to not just travel, but do it really intentionally. So I think you've got a good angle here. Often solo. Awesome. So, do you have a podcast?
It's so funny you said that because I'm literally in the works of launching one by Juneteenth. Like I just started like recording
I
podcasts.
think it would be really cool if you went through travels and did interviews with people.
Yeah, so the point of my podcast is to archive the Black experience across all 50 states. So eventually
Yeah.
interviewing a Black person from every state.
Yeah. I love it. I love it. And I think during a time whenever it's like diversity, equity, and inclusion is like being cut, that's like one side. But there's also the other side of like, nope, this is not what we want, right? We need more people who are giving voice. Like I feel like this work is so important now. And I actually have a client who's in my program. Her name's Patty. I think I saw her here. But she just launched a podcast, very similar mission. I'm not sure if she's still here. She may have dropped already. Oh, you're here, Patty. Do you want to tell us about your podcast? I feel like you two should connect. I don't know if you're
Oh,
in a place where you can
yeah,
talk.
yeah. Mine is pretty much about storytelling, right? It's a platform to elevate other people's stories because I know there's power in sharing our stories where people feel less alone and seen, and validated, and all the things. So yeah, I just launched it actually last week, and so
Oh, congrats.
I'm in Erica's CDL program, and yeah, I've been learning a lot. So yes, I'm following you now, so we can get connected.
Awesome.
Amazing. All right. So, um, speaking engagements as well as selling your
Guys,
guides.
yeah.
So, here's what I would suggest for you. Are you ever on podcasts yourself?
I've been on podcasts in the past, especially when I was launching my book. I haven't been
Mhm.
on one recently, but it's funny you said that because someone invited me to, actually, two people sent an invite to me today. So,
Oh, I love this. I love this so much. So what I would suggest, if you know what you want to create is speaking, we need to see you as a speaker. So set up your phone whenever you have these podcast recordings and record yourself on the podcast recordings. And
mm,
if we just need to visually start to see you as a speaker. We also need to see it speaker up here. So
got
if
it.
that's what you want to bring in, you're already doing so many things well. So I was like, okay, let's just talk about what will what it is that's going to help you create more of the opportunities you want. And it's almost like the proof of authority strategy that I mentioned, which is all about supporting the viewer because we see you the way you show us, right? We're only going to
Hmm.
see the content you put out there. And if you want to be seen as a speaker, we need to know you're a speaker here in your bio, in your name because this is searchable. Um, so I would just add another little line in speaker there if you can. And then like if you have the space for it, if not, you may have to move things around a bit.
Yeah.
And then start to create content of you as a speaker. And then even in your stories, talk about being on podcasts, talk about creating your own podcast, and then bring in your guides in your stories. That's what I would suggest. But I really think for you, again, you have the expertise. You've already made some money. You may be leaving some money on the table. If I'm being completely honest, I think you could probably charge for like travel consulting.
Yeah, that's what I want to get into, actually. Yeah.
Yeah. Yes. Because I think the guides are great, but I don't think it's probably paying all your bills.
No, definitely not.
Yeah, so proof of authority is really what I would have you focus on, as well as creating an offer that's higher ticket. And then you can also sell that through your podcast and then through your stories is what I would suggest. And then focus on creating like more visible content for your feed, which is what you're doing. Like this is a great post right here.
Thank you so much.
Yeah, thank you. All right, all right. Let me pull up the next person. All right. Natasha, I have your account, your page pulled up. I don't know if I can hear you,
Oh, can you hear
but
me now?
yes, I can hear you now.
Yay, thank you.
So tell me, what are some of the opportunities you're looking to call in? Yes, what are you looking to call in? Like, what are some of the opportunities you are looking to call in from your page?
Well, I would say I definitely am looking to be. So I'm a Latina mom creator, Latina digital mom content creator, and
Mhm.
I do a little bit of everything, right? So I guess I want a little bit more direction and then definitely more brand deals, but I do a little bit of mom content, funny videos, food. I guess it's just makeup, so it's a mix. So I don't know if I guess yeah, like more direction and more clarity because I like doing a little bit of everything, but I don't know if I should stick to just one lane, like niche down a little bit more. I don't know.
Yeah, great question. So, have you made money from brand deals already? And do you have any offers or no, just brand deals?
Yes, I do. So I've done a couple, I think in the past 6 months, four paid brand deals. They weren't,
Mhm.
a lot of money, but they were paid, so that was nice.
Great.
And yeah. So I would say, and then I just did like I created like a Dominican ABCs book because the video I had done did really well, and people had, like a couple people had said, "Oh my God, this I would read this book," and so I went and I created a book. So I've sold, I think it was like 54 copies of it. So that was nice.
Amazing. Oh, that's great. And how much are you selling the book for?
$10 or 11,
Okay.
10.99.
Okay. Fantastic. So, have you been consistently talking about the book or not really?
So
Not,
I've
sorry, go
done
ahead.
it. I think I've done like 3 or 4 videos on it, and then I'm now more so promoting a mommy and me story time, where I'm hosting it at a like a kids open play place, and I'm doing the story time of the book at the beginning, and then kids
Oh,
can play, and then moms can connect with each other.
oh my gosh, I love that idea.
Mhm.
So when you do that, I mean, you're already probably on it because you're obviously a content creator. Bring people who can do video for you, right? Or like set up a
Okay.
tripod. Like we need to see you doing the storytelling. And even if it's not the audio, like even if you don't capture your audio, at least some footage of you doing it, because then as you create more content, you can sell more of the book as well. And then as
Okay.
similar to what I mentioned a couple of audits ago, you also want to get people's experience, like what did they love about it, right? Did their kids love the book? And what was it nice to create to get together? You pretty much want credibility from what people are, because people don't care about what you say about yourself. They care about what other people say about you. And that's, we can hate it, right? We can hate it as much as we want, but that's what works. So
Okay.
let me just look at your content really quick. But I mean, I can already tell that you are a good content creator based on the
Oh,
diversity
thank
I'm seeing
you.
here.
That means a lot to me.
And then Yaz also said that she follows you on TikTok and she loves
Oh,
their dating content.
oh my God, thank you. Yeah. Thank you.
Is there a voiceover to this?
I think it was music.
Music. Okay.
But I do
This,
usually do like story times sometimes behind it, or like walk
perfect.
people through what I'm using. I guess I mix it up to see what does better.
Yeah, I'd probably do something like get ready with me while I tell you, or you don't even have to say get ready with me, but like, let me tell you the story about when I found out I was pregnant. And it's like we're visually
Oh,
looking at this, but you're telling us a story. That would make it more like the content would make it more magnetic.
okay.
I love the audio for this. That's funny. So I think what would support you is at the for the step one of the magnetic CEO method I was talking about, it's all about having clarity on your vision.
Okay.
Hold on, where is it? Wrong link. Hold on. I actually think it's a great thing that you are sharing different aspects of being a mom. Okay, clarify your brand and vision. So it's almost like, what do you want to be known for? And maybe what you want to be known for is the Latina mom that didn't lose herself in motherhood, but still shows up fully in motherhood, but is still like taking your business seriously, is still doing the things that she loves doing, and you're bringing us kind of on that journey.
Okay.
So I think from that, if you took a lens like that, as long as your content goes through that filter or that funnel, you can talk about anything. I'll give you an example. My other program is called Courage Driven Latina.
Mm-hmm.
So it's all about courage, and that's more of a content program. So anytime I wanted to post something, I would just funnel it under courage. I would make everything around courage. I could talk about dating, I could talk about business, I could talk about creating content, and I would just filter it under courage. So for you, it's really about finding your what you want to be known for, almost like what's your big not big, what's your message and your cohesive message that all of this kind of fits into. And I think it's
Okay.
probably going to be something around motherhood, but like you like balancing motherhood and you becoming the best version of yourself is kind of the sense I get from you.
Mm-hmm.
Um,
I just got back from Costco. Tengo muchísima coca. Oh my God. Tengo
I love that you kept that in there and you're showing us your personality.
muchísimas cosas que compré because I am meal prepping today, hopefully, fingers crossed. But I wanted to show you guys what I get. Entonces, empezando con shrimp. I love this farm raised shrimp.
Yeah, I think this is you're obviously very well spoken. I would maybe change this hook to be like instead
Okay.
of busy mom Costco haul, this is everything I got from Costco as a busy mom managing my content creation, running a business, and motherhood or something like that.
Okay.
So just adds a little bit more context.
Okay.
But for brands, you're already showing brands, which is great. How did you land the four brand deals you have had?
So I use Coley, which is a platform that connects, creators to brands, and then you see all the campaigns that they have on their platform, and then you apply for the brands, and then the brand will choose, if they want
Hmm.
to work with you or not. So that's pretty much how I get most of them.
Uh-huh.
I've gotten like brands to reach out, but it's not much. I would say more so through Coley.
Do you already have a media kit?
I have one, but honestly, I've only sent it out when I've done the pitch emails like a handful of times. I haven't used it in a while, actually.
Okay, so any opportunities you've already done, I would add that to your media kit. And then I would also do, damn, there was something I had in mind. I'm losing it. Hold on, give me a second. Let me see if it comes back.
Okay.
There's something specific I had for you around brand deals. Oh, the other thing would be maybe it might be a little hard if you're using that app, but I feel like what might be lacking is negotiation and actually negotiating brand deals and asking for more. Because if it was up to people that I like the brands I've worked with, they would not.
Mm-hmm.
I think the first offer I got from, let's see. I mean, I think from QuickBooks, they were trying to, or Moderna, when I did that one, they were trying to pay me like, I don't know, like 2000. I was like, you're crazy. I know how much money you all have invested. Like, and they ended up paying me
Yeah.
9. So a lot of it's also negotiation and being able to negotiate. But I would, so in summary, update your media kit, negotiate
Mm-hmm.
every opportunity, and also just think about what you want to be known for and how can you filter
Okay.
everything you're doing through that. And then the brands that you want to work with, if you know you want to work with specific brands, like start implementing some of their products. Don't create an ad for them, but start implementing some of their products just naturally, which like you're already kind of doing here with like makeup and like your Peloton, you're already implementing products. So do that. So if you, whenever you do outreach, it's a lot more curated. Like, look, I'm already using your products. I'm already doing this. And yeah. And then the negotiation piece would be definitely something I would focus on for you.
Okay. Thank you so much. I
Yeah,
appreciate it.
of course. Thank you. All right, let me go back to the chat. Jeez. So the opportunities you all want to create matter. Like what you do matters based on the opportunity you want to create. That's why I'm asking at the beginning what people are looking to call in, whether it's clients or brand deals or speaking engagements. But for everybody that's gotten their profile reviewed, you'd all be great fits for Magnetic Mastermind. So if it's something you're considering, I do recommend scheduling a call. And from there, we can talk about a more detailed plan. But let me get to Jocelyn. One, two. And then I'm doing one more after Jocelyn. And if I don't get to you, you can DM me. And hi, Jocelyn. It's good to see you. I know you're driving, so okay, but you already unmuted. What are the opportunities you want to call in?
Um, so I do want to call in speaking engagements, clients, either one-on-one clients or group workshops, because I
Mm-hmm.
feel like, the service that I'm trying to provide, it's like in really big demand, and I want to take advantage of the group workshops so that I could serve more people without like exhausting myself.
Yep.
Um, yeah, I think that's it for right now.
Okay, I would start because you can do, I don't know if you remember this from Courage Driven Latina. You can do everything you want, but you can't do everything at the same exact time. So, what I would start with first for you would probably be one-on-one coaching because that's where you're going to get the most bang for your buck. And what I mean is when you work with somebody one on one, I know it can be like, oh, I don't want to do that. I want to work with more people. You'll get there, you will. But when you work with people one on one, you start to really see what people's needs are. You really start to see what you can create in your group. It's almost like paid market research, and you get to really impact a person based on where they are. You don't need curriculum yet, you don't need frameworks yet. You're just working with this one person. So, as far as content goes, like from magnetic content, I feel like that's the first place for you to start. And I know that here you have like, okay, here's some coaching, a grief session, and I think this is all wonderful, but this is a sales post and information. We also need content that's going to bring people in. So, empowering individuals through personalized guidance, mindset development, and transformative strategies to build confidence, clarity, and growth. So I would even make this more specific, like what exactly you want to help people with, and then maybe even the way we can bridge the gap between where we are and where we want to be, or like what we want to be known for, is through storytelling. So I know you have a really powerful story, and I know you're also really well spoken. Even if you just got started on your stories, telling us like a mini story of your journey and maybe like where you were just 5 years ago and where you are now, or even, you negotiating $40,000 in salary raises. Like, what did you have to overcome? You had to start to feel worthy of yourself. I know you're also a single mom. Like, what of those challenges allowed you to get to where you are now and really create valuable content that makes people feel connected to you? And then from there, be like, by the way, I'm also offering coaching. Send me a DM if you're interested. But it really starts with creating magnetic content. Um, so that's where I would get started. And again, really storytelling. So storytell, create magnetic content, start to build your audience, one-on-one coaching. And then from there, you could even do like free group events and then offer your one-on-one coaching at the end. That's probably what I would do for you.
Thank you. I do have a question. So
Yeah.
I was trying to incorporate another platform that I have on YouTube because that platform is really massive. I was like, all right,
Uh-huh.
I already have an established platform there, and I feel like I've been able to connect with that community, like in the sense like through the music and just the healing aspect that the music brings. So I
Yeah.
wanted to capture some of that, which is like the videos that I have there, the little Day of the Dead ladies there. I was uploading some of those videos on there because I do wanna I wanna say like I do wanna bring that platform into the coaching because obviously like it's just centered around music, but I feel
Mm-hmm.
like it does have an aspect of what I am trying to do with the coaching. Do you think that that's a good approach, or should I just leave that like the video separately? And because I feel like when people see that, like se asustan, like, and I don't want to scare, I don't want to scare them. I want to bring them in, but it's like from a different angle, and I feel like people just because I don't talk about that platform at all. So not everybody knows that I have that already established, but it is a very big platform that I want to bring into my Instagram community.
Yeah. So tell me, where is this? You said YouTube?
Yeah, it's on YouTube.
Okay, so you're posting these with music. And
Yes.
and how are you posting it on shorts or no?
No, so girl, I have not posted in like a long ass time, but
Okay.
it's been it's been active ever since. So it's through the regular videos, but it is a very big platform. I have like almost 40K subscribers and like 26 million views. So I was like, all right, I need to do something with that because you know, it started like as a passion project, and I just did it like for the love of music, and then it just grew. But the community that is a part of that is the community that I am also trying to serve. So I was kind of trying to bridge both, but I don't
Mm-hmm.
know if that's a good approach to just throw the videos on there with like the song name and who's recorded, and I tried to like kind of capture like the essence of the song, like if it's a heartbreak song, like what it brought up for me, and stuff like
Yeah.
that, just to relate it to like the emotions. um, but I
No,
just
I
don't know if
totally hear
that's a good
you.
approach.
Yeah, so here's what I would suggest. Like, if you think about with the music and people finding it on YouTube, they're probably going to go listen to music. I don't know how many of those people would be ideal clients for your coaching. So, what I would suggest doing would be anything that you create for Instagram or you're sharing your story, also put it on YouTube Shorts to try to
Okay.
get people to come over, like to show who you are. And it won't be relevant for all 40,000, but it will be relevant to some. So that's how I
Yeah.
would bridge the gap between both of
Okay.
those using
Okay.
YouTube Shorts.
Okay. Thank you.
Yeah, yes, of course. And this is all like, I know you've been Encourage Driven Latina in the past. It's completely revamped. So I do think that it would be a good fit for you, either Magnetic Mastermind or Courage Driven Latina. We can talk about it. But I think you have a lot of opportunity here. But there's steps to be taken. Like I had just mentioned, it's a little too much to cover right now, but we can talk about it offline too.
Yeah, thank you. And the stuff that you shared with the other girls was definitely like helpful. So I was like, all right, I'm making mental. I was like, all right, this applies to me, and this will be
Yes.
helpful. So thank you for coaching them because I was learning through your coaching them. So it's definitely very helpful.
Yes, good. I'm so glad. I'm
Thank
so
you.
glad. All right, thanks. Hold on. Okay, we've got Jocelyn. Does anybody have any questions so far? Kelsey, are you? I don't know if you're still here, but I did see that. What? Oh, wait, you want to do brand deals?
Here.
I already know this. I already know this about you. So, so, would you? I saw that you booked a call. So, are you okay with me sending you a DM with your audit so I can get to the other person? Is that okay? Just because I know we're already
Yeah,
talking and I already know what I'm going to tell you because you're a client already.
Yeah, that's totally cool. I'm driving to work anyway, so yeah, that's
Okay, I'll send you a voice note with everything because I have specific things for you. And I said I was gonna get to 5 people, and I think we just have one more person. So I will send you a voice note, and I know we're also gonna talk, but I already know yours is brand deals, right?
yeah.
Okay, great. I will send you a voice note, and then that way I can get to. Hold on. There was one more person.
Thank you.
Celine. Yes, thank you. Certified professional coach. Hi, Celine. So I assume you want clients. Is that correct?
Yeah, it's Selene.
Selene. Thank
Selene,
you.
yes.
Sorry about that. I should have asked.
The biggest thing is I don't post as much as I should. Everything I do in person. And
Okay.
I want to have more of an online presence, right? Because I do a lot of things on my own one-on-one through word of mouth. And I'd like to scale that and expand that. The biggest thing for me is getting in front of a camera is nerve-wracking for me.
Okay. Well, good news for you is that on LinkedIn, written posts do really well. So, while I do think getting in front of a camera is going to be a good idea at some point, here's the thing, even if you meet people in person, the relationship continues online. So people will meet you in person and they'll follow you. So the way that you show up online can convert somebody from an in-person meeting to a paid client because I've had this happen over and over. I meet somebody at a conference, they follow me, they become clients. Kelsey's a great example. I met Kelsey on a cruise and now she's a client and she also just booked a call for this program. So for you, I really think it's all about you're already doing these things in person. How can you capture more about that? How can you capture content when you are in person, even if it's you networking with people and if it's just a photo and adding something at the top? What kind of people do you typically work with?
Um, Typically like engineers and so techie people.
Okay. And then you support them with what?
Public, the funny part is public speaking.
Okay.
I'm very good at helping people develop professionally, coaching them to higher positions, aspirations, um, to becoming the best version of themselves for their next launch, whatever that is for that specific person. Um,
Yeah.
so, for example, I had some clients where they were starting as associates, and through coaching with me, they got promoted to project managers. The same thing with engineers, entry level engineers. I got them promoted to engineers 2, 3s, and seniors.
Amazing. We need to know all of that in your LinkedIn. Even if you're not saying the exact person, but we need to know where were they before, what thoughts did they have, what limiting beliefs did they have, and where did they end up?
Okay.
So really it's going to be storytelling for you, storytelling about because this is the proof of authority strategy, right? Where you could have all these amazing results, but by looking at your page, we don't know that. So, especially on LinkedIn, you can get so many leads from LinkedIn and so many possible clients that will convert from just following you to paid clients. And what I would suggest would be think about your journey, your story, tell us some of that, but also tell us some of your client stories. And a visual that you can do, as I mentioned, is going to be you at events. And it's maybe you can have somebody just take a photo where like you're in the front looking and then maybe the people that are you're talking to it's the back of their head so that way you're not posting other people without their permission. Like when I'm at speaking engagements I try to get shots like that where it's the back of people's head so it's not their face but you can see my face up at the front because we need to see you engaging with people and visually showing them how it is that you can or just even engaging with people. And then I would challenge you to take your skills to the camera. I know it feels uncomfortable at first, but at least start with the written post out because it's almost like it's what I call steps getting from right now you're on LinkedIn and you're posting and maybe like resharing things or posting every once in a while, but you're not fully sharing. That's kind of hard to see. These are little steps. But getting you from where you are now to posting a video is like having you go from here to here when we just need to get you to the next step. And that's just going to be starting to post. And then it's going to be sharing stories of your clients and sharing wins, sharing maybe your stories of your journey, and then getting to talking to camera. Let's see if I can. There we go. That might be easier to see. So instead of going from here to here, it's just going to the next step. So the next step is just going to be getting comfortable posting. Does that make sense?
Yes, it does. And does it matter like the type of content, like whether it's a little bit longer form?
What matters is that your hook, the first line, is really interesting. So maybe like the engineer run one, you said they went from starting as an engine. I'm sorry, what was that? An engineer level 1 to level 3?
Yes.
Okay. And then how much time went by between that?
Within a year.
Okay. How Mike, or like the story of how you could even change the name if you want, right? The story of how John Jose went from engineer level 1 to level 3 in less than a year. And then you could go into, let me tell you about where this client was at the beginning. Here's what we really worked on. And then within the year, they reached this engineer level 3. But I want you to pay attention to like, what were the thoughts they had? What were the actions they took? How did you two work together? So it doesn't matter if it's longer or shorter, but what matters is that your hook is good enough that people want to read it.
Wonderful. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you. Okay, y'all. So we've gone through 5 audits, and Kelsey, I'm going to get to yours. I'll DM it to you. Any questions about the audits or the program? I do recommend that every single one of you who are interested, obviously some of you are already in it, schedule a call. And on that call, I'll help you figure out what the best program is for you. If I feel like, okay, maybe Magnetic Mastermind isn't the best fit for you just yet, maybe Courage Driven Latina is, just to get you started with creating content. Like we just talked about right now, then I'm happy to put you in, give you more information about that program as well. Let me see. Jocelyn said, thank you. All this was super helpful. Maddie said, thank you for your time. This is all super valuable. Oh, good. I'm so glad. I'm glad you all found this valuable. Don't forget to schedule your calls. You can DM me if you have any questions, and I will talk to you all soon. I hope you found this training super insightful and super valuable. If you took anything away from this podcast episode, I want to hear from you. Feel free to send me a DM. You can message me. I would love to hear what stood out to you. And if you would love to work with me inside of Magnetic Mastermind, I invite you to schedule a call because we are closing doors on the 13th of May. So doors do not stay open for a long time. And the next time we open doors will not be until the end of the year. And I cannot promise or guarantee that the investment will be the same or that all of these amazing bonuses will be included. I cannot wait to speak with you. Schedule a call using the link down below. Thank you so much for joining me this week. Make sure to visit theericacruz.com. That's Erica with a K, where you can subscribe to the show so you'll never miss an episode. You can help this podcast grow by supporting me with an Apple Podcast rate and review. If you took anything away from this episode, I invite you to take a screenshot and share it on social media so that your favorite badass Latinas can also check it out. Be sure to tag me at the Erica Cruz. That's Erica with a K, because you know I want to see it. If you're ready to join the revolution and be a part of the Courage Driven Latina community, visit couragedrivenlatina.com to get more information and join the waitlist. Thanks again, and I'll see you next week.